What is up, guys? Man, we are live on both channels tonight, man. We are live on SWAC'N A Fool and my channel. And you guys knew if I was going to do an Alcorn State Southern preview, there was not two other people in the world I would have on this show to do this, man. We're got my guy G next to me. J Max will be on shortly, so don't worry,
Yeah.
man. But make sure to check out both streams. Hit the like button on both channels. If you're not subscribed to either one, man, hit that subscribe button. But man, G, how you been, man? What you guys got coming for this
What's
season?
going on,
Kickoff's close, man. Kickoff's
Kickoff
close.
close. It's been tough trying to find content before the year. It's our first year, so it's been tough trying to make content but not football here, and I'm ready. I'm ready now. Football here. We about 9 days away now. We 9 days away.
I know you're gonna be. How closely are you gonna be watching that game Saturday at 2:30 in Montgomery? You gonna be watching that one?
I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be watching it like we playing. I want to see. It's a lot I want to see. So I'm gonna be watching.
Hey, it's a great matchup for them, man. Because if they come out there and lose, I know a lot of people are gonna be looking at that team a little bit sideways. But with they get the 80 something scholarships. I just want to say that's so unfair. The fact they get to be FCS and get 20 extra scholarships, they got to fix that. They definitely got to fix that. But man, let's start with Alcorn. J Max isn't here, so you can get all the fandom out the way. You can trash Southern while you're at it. He can't respond here.
I love to do that.
But the biggest question, we know what it is with Alcorn State, the quarterback spot. Now, you guys brought in multiple transfers. There's been a battle this offseason. Who do you think and how do you think Alcorn State replaces the production, the leadership of Felix Harper at the quarterback spot this year?
Honestly, I've been telling a lot of people this, and this might shake some people up. This might be a little controversial. I don't think Felix Harper had the best year. I think he had a drop off last year. From 2019, Felix Harper to last year, I think it was two different quarterbacks. So we brought in some quarterbacks that's going to do a better job of putting the ball where it's supposed to go. I think Felix Harper forced some passes last year, and it kind of put us in some bad situations. But we brought in Aaron Allen from Louisiana Tech, and we brought in Markevian Quinn from Memphis. Two different styles of quarterbacks. Markevian Quinn is like your Cam Newton. He gonna run the ball, and sometimes it's hard to being at practice. It's hard to get a gauge how good he is because he never gets hit full speed. So he's sometimes like he's running all through and he take advantage because he's 6'4", big kid. He's not gonna really hit him hard, so he takes advantage. So he looks really good running the ball. And then you got Aaron Allen, who's more of a passer, more of a pocket quarterback, and we also have a redshirt freshman, Trey Lawrence, he's been doing real good. So it's like a three-headed monster we got down there right now. So in my opinion, I think Aaron Allen kind of got the edge right now. McNair hasn't announced the starter yet, but I think Aaron Allen from Louisiana Tech has the edge. I think more because of his he's been playing the game so long. So just the experience, I think that got him a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I think based on the people I've talked to, I think a lot of people think Aaron Allen has the edge. Now, man, it's so tough because I know I talked about this with Demetrius Davis at Alabama State too. When you have a guy who's so athletic, it's so, like you said, it's so hard to see him in work in practice. That those are the guys who might be bad practice players, but are gamers, and they can just go out in the game and flip that switch. And do you think there's any chance we see more than one quarterback when Alcorn State hits the field on the 3rd against Stephen F. Austin?
I think there's a slim chance. McNair don't really like the two system quarterbacks too much unless something goes wrong or he will. We do have like a package where we may throw Queen in there for some running situations in the red zone, something like that. But mostly, I think it's gonna be Aaron Allen's job, and he gonna be ready to go.
It's a big matchup. I know. I think me and you might have to get back together to preview that Alcorn State Stephen F. Austin game because you got the knowledge on one side, I got the other one. But a guy who has really, I guess, been in the headlines this offseason is KJ Kinsler at the safety spot. Talk a little bit about what you've seen watching Alcorn these past few seasons and the development of Kinsler into one of the best safeties in the SWAC going into 2022.
Coming in as a freshman, KJ came out of nowhere. He actually played as a freshman. His first game was Georgia Tech, and he had like 10 tackles. At Georgia, he's a freshman out of high school. First game was at Georgia Tech, and he has a monster game. KJ is a real quiet kid, and this year he didn't get selected in some of the polls, some of the selections. Yeah. He's pissed. He's a quiet kid. Don't say much. His energy at practice even been different. He's been an animal. He's been trying to hit. You can tell it is on his mind. So he's just a real good kid, real smart kid. That's one thing I like about KJ. He loves. You can tell he loves it. He will sit and talk football with anybody. He loves the game. He knows where everybody's supposed to be on the field. He's a real smart kid. So I think that's helped him out a lot. And we also got a new safety coach, Coach Quinn. He played football at Memphis. He was on the UAPB staff, and he was a JUCO coach last year. And they're working out perfect together. So KJ loves Coach Quinn. So I think that's also helping him, to just be a better safety.
What do you think he needs to do this season to really establish himself going into the NFL draft? We know that's the ultimate goal. We know he has the size. I mean, he's got all the physical traits. What do you need to see from him this season in terms of on-the-field play to really solidify himself to the next level and being a top NFL draft prospect out of the FCS?
I think he just needs to make more plays on the ball in the air. Some more interceptions. I think last year he had like one interception. Just show that he can be a ball hawk. I think last year our D line was kind of so he played more in the box. He played more down in the box, and we needed him to run support a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think this year we walked up the defensive line, so he'll be able to roam around more and make some plays in coverage. So I think once he showed that ability, he's gonna take it to the next level because I call him KJ Hitman Kinsler. He hit a dude in practice. He hit one of our running backs. Javante Leatherwood. He's one of our hardest running backs. In practice the other day, he lowered his shoulder and hit him, and everybody like, whoa, like he just knocked him off, ball went everywhere. I was like, oh yeah, KJ is just he on another level.
Different.
KJ on another level.
And one of the big things is your guys' safety room last year was stacked.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. I mean, you guys, I'm blanking on his name. Taylor was the other safety, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I mean, we saw him, and he was one of the standouts. I was at the combine in Mobile. Just his athleticism. I mean, there were scouts drooling over what he could potentially do. Who is going to step up next to Kinsler at that safety spot, in your opinion, this season?
We got a couple guys. We got a kid, Milton Wallace. He was a JUCO transfer. He got good size. He's like 6'3", real tough physical kid. We have Cam Stoudemire. I don't know if you remember Damon Stoudemire, basketball player for Portland. It's his little brother. Oregon State transfer, another long kid, and a sleeper kid who's been showing a lot of flashes in practice, and he really supposed to keep it on the down low. But I gotta tell it, this guy named Rob McDaniel. He come from Gulf Coast Community College, and he has 3 years to play. He's been great. Coaches are loving him. So I think our safety room is one of the best rooms we have again. He's been
That's going to be big, especially with, all the wide receiving cores in the SWAC seemingly being loaded. I mean, even the quote unquote bottom feeder teams people are saying have a lot of depth at wide receiver. Now, I don't know who Michael's talking about. He said, how is the kid doing that they're calling the future? Or they call future? I don't know. I don't know if there's a guy with the nickname.
Then he might be talking about Truck Griffin, a tight end. Maybe, but if he's talking about Truck Griffin, the tight end, Truck Griffin doing amazing. He was a freshman last year, and so he's had an amazing camp. I was at a practice about a week ago, and he caught like across the middle and took it 70 yards. I didn't know he had the kind of speed. I'm like, man. So yeah, Truck Griffin is another name, a tight end. So be on the lookout for Truck Griffin.
And you know me, man, any show with me, offensive line is going to be a topic of conversation. One of the big things was physicality at the offensive line, being dominant and a lot of size. When we talked on the spring preview when I had you guys on, that you guys brought in a lot of size. Let's just be honest. I mean, you guys brought in some big dudes. Do you expect Alcorn State to be more dominant on both sides of the line of scrimmage? And what have you seen as you've watched these guys scrimmage and go through fall camp?
The question is, will we? We better be. With the size we brought in, we better be. I tell you, last year we were so banged up. Like our starting center last year was like, no lie, he was like 5'8", 220 pounds. This is no lie. Like he's like that was our starting center. Our first two centers got hurt. He did a good job. Good kid. He did a good job. But this year we brought in some size. Steve Carter on the offensive line. He's like 6'4", so big. And it's been some physical practices. And that's what I like to see, just being physical, being mean, being nasty. So that's what I want to see, man. Just want to establish the run and be able to run down here to open up the pass. So on the offensive line, it should be much more physical. It's not. I think we were kind of passive last year. I hate offensive dancing, and I don't like offense. I like nasty offensive line. And this
Oh
year,
yeah.
it's been nasty. Coach McNair has had to stop the practice a few times. Like, all right now, let's break it down. So I like it. I like it. That's the kind of
You
stuff
don't
I like.
you don't want to be Aaron Donald out there today hitting
Yeah.
people on the head with helmets,
Right.
going insane. I mean, the defensive line was a big thing. Do you guys, who are some guys at the edge spot? Because I think getting after the quarterback this year is going to be so important in the SWAC. Who are some guys at the edge spot that are really sticking out to you as guys that can be the lead, sack leader on this defense?
We got a kid, Kenny. He was a JUCO All-American. We brought him in from Trinity Valley Junior College. He's been having a really good camp. We brought in like 6 defensive ends. Malachi Bailey from Independence JUCO as well. And also, I think our best will be Claude Chirelis. He played linebacker for us last year. He's gonna be playing like that defense. He kind of like the James Houston role for us. And he's been having a real good camp. Coming around there, he bends well. So I think he may be, but him and KJ gonna be our defensive leaders. Claude 32. So.
He's a stud. I've seen he's built different, and he has the athleticism to be a problem. Like if you're an offensive tackle, as a guy who's played, if you don't get your hands on him, there's nothing you can do to make up that ground. Okay, so Michael says talking about the QB from Florida.
Oh, okay, yeah. QB from Florida. Yeah, he's been good. He's been really good. He's definitely our future quarterback. He's just really learning the game more, taking time and just getting the playbook down and just getting his. But his arm talent is amazing. He looks like he has that arm like a Felix Harper. Can make all the throws. He made a throw the other day that had us like woo, So he just has to keep learning the game. But he's doing good. And also has good size. He's like 6'3", so he has good size. And once he puts some weight on, I think he's gonna be real good. He's definitely our quarterback of the future.
Shout out to Braxton, man. Out there at Southern. We're gonna be talking about Southern a little bit later when J Max hops on, man.
I think J Max just a little scared. That's all. He's a little scared. He got cold feet at the last. He's scared. That's what it is. He's so much scared.
But he's scared. He's scared of them for Virginia Lynchburgs and everything on the schedule, man. That they're terrifying out there. So Marquise wants to know, how do you feel like the linebacker depth is this year for Alcorn State?
Man, it's amazing. The linebacker depth is what I'm most excited about. Which club? A lot of people don't know our defensive leader last year, McKinnell Webb. He was our defensive leader. He missed the whole season last year. Our starting middle linebacker, and he's back this year. He's looking real good. We got a kid, Trevor James, who's looking real good. He's been there a few years. He's stepping up. We got a transfer from Rice at linebacker as well. And he's so I think that linebacker is probably. I keep going back and forth on this, but it's probably our deepest position on defense, deepest position, So I like what we're doing at linebacker, so I think it'll be pretty good.
And I think we both know the deepest position on offense, and that's the running back room. And that brings us. I knew this question was going to come in the comments. I didn't even write it down for my thing. I just knew it was going to come up. In the running game, how many yards per carry do you think Alcorn will average by the end of the season?
I think over 5.
Oh,
that's
stout. That's stout, man.
I think I'm gonna tell people this. How at most practices we have some really good backs. Most practices you see the quarterbacks with the red jerseys on, do not touch them. We have 2 running backs with red jerseys on. It's like don't touch them because we do not touch them. They've been having practices off. Nico Duffy and Jarvion Howard from Syracuse is like thunder and lightning. I'm most excited about the backfield. I think it's be our best backfield we've had collectively, and we've had some backs. We've had some NFL backs, but I think those 2 gonna be our best running backs collectively that we've had. Jarvion Howard and Nico.
I talked to C about this because I was asking about the running back rotation at Jackson State. What do you think the rotation is going to look like? Do you guys think you're going to use a back enough to hit 1,000 yards, or do you think it's going to be so rotational that you might have a few guys hit like 500-600?
I think we might have one tip 1,000, and then the next a little bit under that. I don't know if we'll be able to have 2 at 1,000. I don't know if defense will allow us to, because we're gonna start opening it up once they start. We're gonna start throwing the ball. So I don't think we're gonna really have 2,000. Also, we're gonna have Nico Duffy doing more things, moving him around. He'll be up on the turn in the slot because Jarvion, So we have Nico definitely doing more. So I think Nico definitely be more as a passing threat as well.
I think that fits him, man, because I think last year there were times where he's so talented that you have to have him on the field that he kind of got forgot about, especially when Stafford Anderson came back from his injury and that rotation got really, really deep.
Yeah.
I just feel like he got lost in that running back room. And there were times where I was like, man, if you just put him out there, regardless of where you put him, just get him out in space and let him make plays. So I'm glad to hear that they're going to get they're at least going to get him out there. And I mean, how do you think early in the season that's going to be the key for Alcorn? As Allen, whoever takes those QB1 snaps, do you think Fred McNair and this offense are going to let them grow into the offense and really lean on the running game early?
Yeah, they want to establish the run. When Alcorn was at its best is when we was running the ball. They want to establish the run. We're not going to be too run heavy because we have some really nice weapons on the outside, but we want to be able to establish the run. So you can't so you can't just load the box on us. We're gonna hit you over the top. You don't load it. We want to be versatile. So but I do think we beefed up the offensive line to be able to run the ball. So we want to run the ball, and I think we will.
So Steve also is Quinn Gray still the QB coach?
No, Quinn Gray left and went to Memphis. Jason Phillips is now the quarterback's coach.
That's what I thought. I will say I thought you guys had a change there.
Yeah.
So we know the name. It's CJ Bowling.
Yeah.
He's the guy at the wide receiver spot. What does the wide receiving room look like behind him, though? Because we know he's going to be wide receiver one. He's going to get a lot of the targets. But what does the slot position look like? What does the other position on the other side look like?
Warren Anthony is a name that sticks out. He's our fifth year guy. He's our senior guy. He really can be our wide receiver one. He's that good. So him and CJ are going to take a butt of the load. We got a kid from Tulsa, Malik Rogers, who has had a real good camp. Also, Montario Hunt from Rutgers. So we're pretty deep at receiver as well. One thing, we don't have that big, tall 6'5" receiver. That's what we're missing, I believe. But overall, I think we have some really good depth at receiver. Really good depth.
Now, I don't know the guy's name because Steve just threw this out there. How is the D-line looking number 8 on the D-line?
He number 8 graduated. It was Solomon Wise last year.
He went off at the combine.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is just different. Now, specialists, we know the narrative. You got to have a kicker, and there were some teams that really struggled last year with the kicker. Is Alcorn State going to be missing extra points this year or no?
Listen. This is one of my big worries. I tell people all the time, I thought our special teams lost us a couple games last year. Our special teams. And so we brought in it's literally a brand new special teams unit. New punters, new kickers, new long snappers. So it's gonna be fresh. We got a transfer from Southern Utah, one in from McNeese. We brought in a couple transfers in to kick the ball. They've been kicking pretty well in practice, but I gotta see how it translates on the field. But we brought in a totally new specialist, all new specialists.
And what is up with McNeese, man? How many kickers do they have on the roster? Because Jackson State got a McNeese kicker. You guys got a McNeese State kicker. They must have just had a whole room of kickers over there. Jesus, man. So this is going to be interesting. Soul Bowl score predictions from Smash.
I got 35-31 Alcorn.
And it's at Lorman this year, right?
Yeah. Is at Alcorn. I think Jackson State defense takes a step back, but the offense kind of takes a step forward. But I think it's hard to come on the reservation to win. It's just tough to come down there and win. So
that would be a tough loss. The last week of the season before the SWAC Championship to go down and lose that game. Oh man,
it's tough. When we were up like that, winning championship, they used to get us like that. Last game of the year, we'll be winning all year, and they beat us. They 3-8 and beat us. So I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna take a L when they come down to Longman this year.
Rivalry games, man, are so unpredictable. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, man, throw the records out. It does not matter anymore, especially on the road too. A lot of people are saying y'all got a chance to beat Stephen F. Austin in the comments, man. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Let me tell you this. That would be the biggest win in my lifetime. I honestly think Stephen F. Austin is better than Tulane. In my opinion.
Yeah, probably. I think Stephen F. Austin was like one play away from beating Texas Tech last year.
Yeah. If we beat Stephen F. Austin, that'll be the biggest win I've ever seen Alcorn. Now I was around for the McNair ages, but I was 2-3 years old, so I can't really.
Yeah.
This will be the biggest win in my lifetime, and I'm telling you now, I'm acting a fool. I might come all off the shirt. So they're gonna be pumped up. They're gonna be ready. The crowd gonna be rocking. So I hope we can pull it off. It's gonna be a big win for the program.
Now that post-game live stream, I'm gonna find you on the sidelines. I'm gonna be like, we got to go live if you're gonna pull that upset off, because that's going to be berserk, man. I know. I'm excited. Now, some people say, I got to ask your opinion, because everyone knows we're both going to be in Lorman for that game. I've been told by some fans on another channel that the crowd isn't going to turn out because it's a non-conference game. Is that true, or is it because it's still a big game regardless?
It's not going to turn out like it would a Jackson State, but especially by it being the first game of the year, that's going to help. Yeah. So I think we get 15 to 18,000 in there. And I tell people 15 to 18,000 is like 25 somewhere, because I love our fans, because we're gonna be standing up. It's different on the reservation. I've been in other stadiums where it's been 60,000 people, Blue, but they don't even know it's third down. 60,000 people, but they don't know it's third down. You ain't gonna have it on the reservation. Everybody gonna be up on their feet. Everybody, so that's what I do appreciate there. But I wish we would come out more for games like this. I wish we could get 30,000. For a game like this, because I think it's that big. It's that big of a deal for us. It changed everything for us. So.
It's gonna be big, man. I'm excited because I know. I think it was BJ, if I'm not mistaken, BJ Jones on Twitter, man. He posted that clip from one of the Alcorn State games. I don't know what game it was from, but he got the video from the end zone, and man, it looks insane in there if the crowd gets going. So
when it get rocking, it get rocking.
I know my guy Dustin was in here from Stephen F. Austin. He is actually he's a big Stephen F. Austin fan. He's worried about that game a little bit. He said it was a sleeper game for them. Now, T. Adams at wide receiver. How do you feel about him going into the season?
He had a really good spring. T. Adams came to Alcorn as a quarterback. He was a big time three-star quarterback, one of the best players in Mississippi, and we trained changed his position to receiver. He's probably the most athletic player on our team. He's probably the most athletic player. He's had to get his route running down, but he's had a really good camp. And you'll see him on kick return. You'll see him getting reverses in the backfield. He's just that dynamic. So you'll see him everywhere. He had a good camp.
Now, Marquise, I see your question. We ain't going to address that yet. We're going to get record predictions at the end of the show. So we ain't going to get that answer yet. Now, Ace wants to know, how does the interior of the defensive line look? I know we already talked about edge rushers. That defensive tackle spot, what do you see coming from that unit?
We beefed it up a little bit with some size. We need some size in the middle. Like I said about the center position on offense, our defensive tackle was small too and was injured last year. Now, this is no lie. We had a kid, he had to be like 5'7", 3. And he good kid, great kid, plays hard. But, it was kind of like, he was number 60. Real good kid, plays hard, but we need more size. So we got a 6'4", 315 defensive tackle from Southern Miss, and he actually played at Southern Miss. So Andrew Cole, and Tate Deer's another name. He came from JUCO. He's a
stud.
Yeah,
that's a strong dude.
Yeah, he is.
That just on film, that dude looks different. Because I remember when he committed, I went and watched his huddle. Just the physicality with his hands is insane.
And he's been probably our best interior lineman. And he's also quick. He's not as big. He's like 6'3", 270, but he's so quick. He's real quick. Devin Dawson, another one. He's a freshman. He was a freshman last year. Kind of hit that freshman wall, but he's another 6'4", 290 that has a really good camp. So we're gonna be leaning on him on those guys in the middle.
Now, we got to the point of the comment section we caught up here where you made your Jackson State Soul Bowl predictions. So we got Paris. We've won before there, not 35 points on us. 2017 JSU won 7-3. He said, come on, man. He said that throw the records out the window. Smash is probably rooting for an Alcorn State win. I don't know. Southern hates kind of both of y'all, so I don't know who we might be rooting for, but
he probably rooting for Jackson.
That's tough.
I don't know.
Aaron said 50-7.
They see the game wasn't that far away last year, and I feel like
y'all played them close for like 3 quarters.
Like we started like 4 walk-ons that game. We had 2 walk-ons at cornerback, a walk-on on the offensive line, a walk-on. So we weren't even. So we just got to make it healthy to that game. I think we're gonna be able to move the ball.
Aaron said his face hurts just telling that lie.
We gonna see.
Oh man, yeah. So apparently the clip was from a Southern game, which I got to make it.
It
I'll
probably
be
one
at
of the SWAC championships.
probably
Yeah.
knowing BJ because I know BJ was probably there. I know you know this. I'll be at the Southern Alcorn game in Baton Rouge this year, so I'm really excited. That's the first time I'll be at Southern for a game, and I've heard it's going to be
It get crazy down there too. And me and Jay gonna be on another level. We owe them one. We owe Southern one. They beat us last year on my birthday weekend, Blue. It's my birthday weekend. It was tough going one.
They're saying that their starting running back was a walk-on too. And Jackson, they're talking about if I'm not mistaken, Santee was a walk-on.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Smash said it depends on what Alcorn's record is. If they're close to winning the West, I want them to lose. That's true. I forgot y'all are in the same division too.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Let's see. Alcorn has some very talented DBs. Watching film on a lockdown corner, number 38 and number 3. Very talented. Stephen F. Austin's DBs are big, but not quick enough. Yeah.
I love Muhammad. He's like a 6'2" corner. From Memphis, a real good kid. He's a young kid, but he's been having a monster camp. So yeah, I love. Our new defense coordinator, Cedric Thomas. Mm-hmm. He's a DB guy. So the corners, he coaches his own corners. He gonna have them corners ready to go. He called D the crackhead D. Everybody get to the rock. That's what he called it. The crackhead D. Everybody get to the rock.
That is amazing. That's the best. How would you describe your defense? Yeah, it's just getting to the rock, man.
Get to the rock.
Now, we know about last year. There was some, talk about the administration and Coach McNair kind of feuding. Is that on the back burner? Is the administration more in support of the team? Like, what's kind of going on behind the scenes with that relationship?
We got a new AD, Dito, and he's been supporting Mac, and Mac is happy. And it kind of the administration kind of letting the AD take it solely himself. Dito played football at Alcorn, so it's much different from the last AD where you didn't see him. Dito's in practice, talking to the kids. So the morale is up. I'll say that the morale is up because last year was down. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. Some things going on. I'm trying to hide it and not let it out. It was rough. Like we went through some stuff last year, but the morale is up this year. I think everybody's happy, so everything's looking good.
That's good, man. Because I know there was a lot of talk. Because I know there was a lot of talk about why would you not want to support McNair? Because if you lose him, then. What is that?
They lose McNair, they lose me. I don't know if they kill.
Who you bandwagon jumping to? Who would you bandwagon jump to?
I'll probably go outside the sweat.
I'll be a McNeese fan.
Yeah, I'll be a McNeese. So I couldn't do no other sweat.
Oh my God, he's what the Cowboys? I'm a Cowboys fan now.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh my Lord, man. So any news on Jaquez Dew?
Like I said, the defense, the linebackers are one of our deepest spots. And Jaquez Dew, that's a D2 transfer from Lenore Ryan. He's really, really quick. I think he's gonna be a special team ace for us, and he's gonna be really good on defense. He's really quick. He's our fastest linebacker. He brings that thump. So you're gonna see him on the field, number 11. Jaquez Dew.
Now, Michael, so the biggest thing for Steve, so I just did the Stephen F. Austin preview today. So if you want kind of a preview of their defense, you can go watch my Jacksonville State Stephen F. Austin preview. I dropped it right before this episode, but they got an All-American defensive end, BJ Thompson, who's an absolute stud, had over 10 tackles for loss last year, like 9.5 sacks in limited action. Their linebacking core, Brevin Randall's a multi-time all-conference player at the middle linebacker spot, and their secondary returns all their all-conference players from last year. Miles Hurd at the nickel/safety spot. They return, I'm blanking on his name, he's number 5. Jeremiah something is also an all-conference selection. So with Stephen F. Austin, they had 18 all-conference selections. I think 14 came back on the team total. Yeah, so the defense, the one question mark I think you would say, Michael, is that the second linebacker spot and then potentially the defensive tackle spot. They had to replace Rayshard Nichols at the 1. He was a huge defensive tackle, so those are probably my question marks. But the defense is stout, and on my Stephen F. Austin preview, Dustin said that he thinks they could have a top 10 defense in the FCS this year if things click. So that's kind of where the potentials could be.
I believe it.
Now, my guy, criminal over here, man. Shout out to him being a member too. He said that he's been watching the Common Man YouTube channel. Man, make sure to go
Yeah,
subscribe to them.
that's my
They're
guy.
doing their thing.
That's my guy.
I told him they are the pregame show for Alcorn,
Yeah,
man. They got
they
all
doing
the
it up.
access.
They doing
I
it
love
up.
it.
I love it.
You'll follow their Instagram, their YouTube channel, man. The Common Man. I got to narrate one of their videos, man. Shout out to all of them, man. They great guys. But he wants to know, what are they doing to upgrade facilities at Alcorn State?
That's something we're working on right now. Really waiting. We got something from the state we're trying to work on, but he's not. We really need it. It's been a while since we had some upgrades, and we really needed it. It's no looking around it. There's no ducking it. We need it. We need an upgrade, and so we at the alums and also working with the administration, we're trying to get it done. So we got some things in the working to try to get some things upgraded quickly because we need.
So what do you think the priority is going to be on that? Like, is it locker rooms? Is it the stadium? Like, what would you want to see first?
We're actually working on the locker rooms now.
Okay.
After we get that knocked out, we're gonna do the probably turf on a practice field like that, some kind of facility like that. It's just some things there's nothing set in stone yet, but some things we could look for.
Now we gotta pull the schedule up, man. It's all about schedules. Everyone's got a thought on schedules, and this is a schedule that I think has some really tough games. The fact that you open with Stephen F. Austin, Tulane's on there. McNeese isn't a first-year head coach, but they get the coach from Valdosta State, who's only lost, I think, 3 games in his coaching career as a head coach. And then you got, of course, Southern and Grambling and Jackson State. The list goes on and on. What games do you consider trap games on this schedule?
Texas Southern, Andrew Body. It's just it's something about Andrew Body. I feel like that may be a trap game for us. And always Grambling with us going down in the hole. The hole it's hot in the hole. It's a different place. It's so Texas Southern and Grambling always. 2 tough games, and they're back-to-back for us. So Texas Southern and Grambling going down in that hole is always different for us.
So I saw a video. I forgot who posted it, and they filmed them walking up, out of the hole. And I mean, on the video, I was like, man, that looks ridiculous. And I talked to someone who has been there, and they were like, man, it was the video still doesn't do it justice. That thing is ridiculous.
You come in the stadium on top, and you walk down, literally in the hole.
Oh.
When I'm in that stadium, once I go down, I'm not going back up to that. It's like walking up here, you be tired. Everybody you literally, it's no going to the concession. It's no going to concession. It's no going to concession.
Man, we got my guy J Max here, man. Hey, how you doing, man?
Woo! I'm here.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Well, we heard you were scared. He said you didn't want to talk about them D2 teams on the schedule. You're scared of catching the L.
Wow. I mean, if we take a look at the SWAC as a whole, we're probably playing one of the best teams in the country, which no other SWAC team can say that that they're doing that. So I feel like that makes up for all the other D2s.
Nothing makes up for y'all playing Southern Lab High School. Nothing make up for that.
Do we have LSU on the schedule?
Yeah, but you also got Southern Lab High School on the schedule too. So I mean,
hey, we got LSU and we getting a big check for it too.
And you gotta pay a big check to Southern Lab High, so it balances out.
Nah. What's going on, Blue Blood? How you making?
Hey man, I've been doing good, and we broke down everything about Alcorn here for the past 30 minutes. We gotta talk some Southern, but before we get to that, you got any thoughts on the whole? We were talking about how hard it is to go down in Grambling and get that win.
Hot.
He said hot. He said, "I'm glad I got the Bayou Classic." He was like, "I'll take New Orleans over the whole idiot."
I take it because as you go down, it get hotter and hotter. It's almost like you going into the core of the earth. You just if you know anything about science, it's hot by the core. That's what it's hot down there.
Now, we got to talk a little bit about Southern here in this offense, man. And G, you can jump in, man. I told you had the advantage coming on first. You get to respond to some of the Southern talk. How different, J-Max, do you expect Southern's offense to look scheme-wise this season?
I mean, what the obvious is we move into more of a spread offense. So, we're going 4 receivers, 5 receivers sometime. Not the traditional set that we used to have. You know, a lot. We were very run heavy. So last year, I would say, in the last 4 or 5 years, I'd say it was probably 60-40. 60 being the run, 40 being the pass. This year, I think it'll be like 70-30, and with 70% being the pass. But I really think that Coach, it's like he pretty much has maybe the most talent he's ever had, and that's including his years at Grambling. You know, you got two great you got two good quality tight ends that you can move anywhere. You could take them out if you want to. You can move them outside if you want to. You got and that being Ethan Howard. We got our transfers from ULM, the transfers from Rice, who have been having an amazing fall camp. And we also got a freshman from Southern Lab who's been making some noises too. And we took our safety, Rudy, and we moved him to receiver too. He'll be number 14. And that gave us a lot of depth at receiver. And of course, you know, we already had the stable of backs. The thing that a lot of people are talking about is, you know, us going from a traditional run heavy to now being a quick up-tempo pass heavy team with our O-line. You know, I think that, of course, we talk about them training in the summer and the spring and them being in shape. And of course, you know, once you get in the game, it's going to be different. But I think they have the pieces to offset that, with 3 of those guys being SWAC first and second team preseason All-Americans. You know, you give those guys a task, and I'm sure they'll get it done. And they veterans too.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, Brian Williams and some of those guys on that offensive line are no joke. And Kobe Dillon's a guy I'm very interested in, though, because we saw what he could do when he got the touches, and I don't think the volume of basic run touches are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
How involved do you expect him to be in the passing game, out of the backfield, and just getting Kobe Dillon into space and letting him go make plays?
Well, from what I'm seeing so far, you know, we've been flaring them out, we've been doing a lot of screens with them, getting out in space, like you said, open, so that way he can have one-on-one matchups with those linebackers, get those linebackers one-on-one. And I saw a few that we'll match up with the safety, and I think he'll have the advantage with, you know, with the quick cuts with the safeties as well. So Dooley's doing a good job. Like honestly, Dooley is. It's like he's playing Madden right now. He can go any way he really wants to go with this offense.
And, you know, the quarterback battle, I've already talked to G about the Alcorn battle at Alcorn State. And I think the quote of my time at SWAC Media Day was the quote I got from Dooley when I asked him what he was looking for at a quarterback, where he was like, man, I don't need you to manage the game. He was like, if I can't do that from the sideline, then we're in trouble anyway. I need a guy who's going to go win the game. Who do you think is the guy in the quarterback room that is going to go win the game for Southern this year?
Right now, I'm saying McCray. We'll probably go with Bashawn McCray. But it's his job to keep.
Yeah,
it's his job to keep. You know, Blood is right behind him, and Blood is making some noise. Blood has been, you know, hot on his tail, hot on his trail. So, like I said, it's his job to keep. If maybe down the line, we notice that, you know, Blood is the better quarterback or the most efficient quarterback for what we're looking for, I could see a switch going. But I think McCray just has to stay consistent. If he does that, it's his job for the whole season.
G, you agree that you think McCray is the guy?
I hope he is. I hope he's the guy. That's
and so I just got here, and like I said, I want to apologize for my tardiness. G, could you speak on who y'all quarterback? You never, I don't know. Who y'all going with?
You want me to break the news?
Break it here on Bluebloods. You gotta break it.
I think we're gonna start Aaron Allen, the quarterback from Louisiana Tech at quarterback. That's my selection. Big Mac ain't announced it yet, but that's who I think they're gonna go with. Now, you know, that's what
Blue. Let me tell you how you just got. How I just caught him up. He first said he wanted to break the news, but then he realized he talked too much. He talked over his head. So then he's going to come back and say, "Oh, but
I had to walk it back.
Big Mac ain't said yet."
he didn't want them to walk back them credentials. He said, "I can't break too much news here because I talked a little bit too much about it." But hey, I'll give you a chance.
I had to walk it back.
I had to give you a chance to respond because I know this question. Man, this question's already been asked like 3 times in the chat. I don't know why it keeps coming up. LSU upset chances. Give me a percentage. But before you do that, give me the percentage that Alcorn State can upset Stephen F. Austin next week.
I'm hopeful that Alcorn can. Honestly, you know, when it comes to the SWAC, I'm always hoping that they can, you know, pull an upset. But Stephen F. Austin, I just don't know what Alcorn has right now. I don't know what Alcorn has right now. I'm anxious to see, but I do know what Stephen F. Austin has right now. And with their receiver, I'm glad that they come into Lorman. I think that's a plus for Alcorn. I like that whole. I hope they pack the stadium on both sides. But it ain't looking too good on y'all end. It ain't looking too good on y'all end. So if I had to give a rough, I say gentlemen 43-10. That's just me being a gentleman.
Listen.
Oh man. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. You said you don't know what we got. I don't know either. If we being honest, we got a lot of new. They look good. I just wanted to show up on Saturday. So they look good in practice, but it got to translate. So that's a true statement. You probably said something that's true. You finally said something that's true. You finally
and we know what Steve SFA. We know what they have.
They got a lot of returning starters.
Yeah.
But
so
we also know it's hard to come on a reservation and leave with a W.
They also get the advantage too. Stephen F. Austin's got to play a tough game this weekend.
Yeah, we get some film on.
Yeah.
So they got to play a, what would you call them, like a FBS junior team?
Right.
I don't know because they get all the scholarships, but they probably don't have all the players together. But okay, so let's get this out of the way because it's going to be asked in the chat.
Go ahead. We got the longest FCS home win streak in the nation. So I hope we can keep it going.
That is true, and it's at night too. I don't know if that's a big thing, but like for me, night games are always like a bigger thing, and so we'll see. But LSU upset chances, I'll give it to both of y'all because it's going to get asked till we address it. So go ahead.
I think that Southern has a lot of people saying LSU rebuild, and I do think if it's any time, this is the perfect time. But in the same instance, we got a new coach, we got a bunch of new players, we got we still trying to get continuity. But the thing that could be the difference on why we would pull an upset, and G talked about it a little bit, is because LSU got to go and play a competitive game against Florida State.
Yep.
And you know who we open with. So we'll be able to work our kinks out. Develop more continuity, see what our strengths are, see what our weaknesses are, and work those out as we, it's kind of like almost like a scrimmage, if you want to say. So I think that'll be the key in being an upset. If I had to give an upset percentage, I'm gonna go a high 30, so maybe 38%. But my final score, and I'm just being a realist, I say 31-17 LSU, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Southern came out in a thriller.
I got about 20%, but for Southern to I'm from Baton Rouge. Everybody know I'm from Baton Rouge. I'm not gonna lie. The Southern players are pumped up to play LSU. They are pumped up. They've been living in Baton Rouge, hearing this LSU is the big dog, y'all ball. So they're pumped up to show what they can do. So I think that could kind of give them an extra chance, a shot at going in there and doing something. I said all that to say I got it like 40 to 10. 40 to 10. I don't think LSU gonna do them too bad. I think they're gonna pull the dogs off. But
the thing that LSU has in this whole thing, and this is anybody in the country, is Butte.
Yeah,
Butte, that receiver that they have is he is and the kid from Walker, I can't think of his name. They got a ton of receivers from Walker, Louisiana. I can't think.
Yeah,
of his name.
I'm blanking on it. I can picture him. I'm like looking at him in my head. I just don't remember his name.
Yeah, they got a ton of receivers over there at LSU, and I think that's what's gonna give us the nightmare. I do think we have a good secondary. We definitely have a good front four, but on those outsides, that's where they get us at. But I'm really interested in seeing the game plan that Coach Dooley will have, because when you're playing those type of schools, you don't want to really run your hurry up offense. You get to the ball, spot the ball offense. You kind of want to play that clock, be a little conservative, get your best play off, so that way, just in case they score, they don't come down and score fast, and then you're back on offense.
Brian Thomas was the kid you were talking about.
Yeah.
And BJ Ojolari is someone too. This is great film for that offensive line.
Definitely.
BJ Ojolari to go up against some of those Southern linemen.
And I think it's gonna be good for Southern defense line to get some tape for the
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? They got some NFL prospects on their defense line. You have a good day against LSU, and sometimes that's all it takes. So.
And it'll definitely boost up Dumas, because if you go back and look at Dumas when he was with Prairie View against Texas A&M, he won pretty much majority of his one-on-one matchups. So I feel like if they go against LSU and he does the same thing, it'll definitely boost his stock up, especially with his size and everything.
That is a must like a must perform game for Jason Dumas in that game. Because I mean,
Mhm.
he's already a little bit undersized in terms of being looked at as a prospect. 'Cause I don't think he wasn't on the Senior Bowl watch list, which was criminal. He wasn't on, I think there was an ESPN list that they're finally doing an HBCU prospect list from ESPN, and I don't think he was in the top 10.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't
And it's
know how
probably-
that's the case.
And I think it's really just because of the size. But he's just gonna have to prove himself against those big teams and dominate the SWAC. He dominates the SWAC with no questions asked, and has a steady performance against LSU to go along with the Texas A&M tape. He should be I see a 6-7, maybe a quality free agent pick.
And this question, I know he came and asked G about it because we know specialists are a big question mark for a lot of SWAC schools. For you, how do you feel about Southern special teams coming into this season?
I feel real good, especially with the punter that we got from Alcorn. Field position is big. Field position is big when it comes to football. Now we have a quality punter, and a lot of people, they underlook this, but we have a good quality transfer coming in as our long snapper.
Yep.
And when it comes to long snapping, that's the seconds. That's getting those seconds and those times to get a good quality punt or a good quality field goal. So I think that's tremendous for us when it comes to field position and how far we need our offense to go. Of course, we know Luke Jackson, how far we need our offense to go. Matter of fact, they call him on the yard on Southern campus Logo Luke. So you know what that means. That means he's kicking from the logo. That means he's kicking it from the logo. So I think I love it. I love it. That means you get it to the 40-yard line. We for sure know that we don't have to we could still be aggressive knowing that we have a good quality field goal kicker like Luke Jackson back there.
Well, I remember I think it was the Jackson State game when you guys got that ball, that last possession. One of the big things, I think it was the announcers and everyone who was in like the live stream chat was saying, man, if they get it across the 50, it could be a wrap.
Yep. But we did.
So yeah, that was a tough game. That was a game.
It was heartbreaking.
I know how that, but linebacker was my next question. It's already been put in the chat. That's the big question mark for, I think, a lot of people. When I look at Southern's defense, I think they got one of the best defensive lines, best secondaries in the FCS, not just a SWAC. I mean, just in terms of pure depth. Linebacker's a question mark. Who do you think steps up at the linebacker spot for Southern?
So, I don't know if I'm in liberty to discuss this. I don't know. The coaches might be a little upset by this.
Tell it. No.
So this might be breaking news. This might be breaking news. This might be breaking news. But we're gonna try out Jordan Lewis at linebacker too.
Ooh, that's breaking news. Go ahead.
Just outside, or y'all might try to move him to Mike too.
Mike too. Well, no, outside. I was about to say, oh man, that Mike, he's got the athleticism, but oof. But and the reason we're doing is just well, of course, like everybody said, we lack in depth right there. But when it comes to NFL prospects with his size, he would have to be like a Michael Parsons type, versatile when it comes to that. So, it's for exposure for him too when it comes to the draft. I'm gonna be honest, that is a question of concern. But the reason why it's not concerning to me is because of Coach Graves, our new coach at Southern University. Coach Graves is the linebacker coach. He's one of the best, most sought after coaches in this league. So if it's anybody that I feel like that I'm confident with getting the job done right there, it's Coach Graves. But that is most definitely one of our if we had to have a weakness, if it's 3 layers to a defense, that's the weakness, of course.
Yeah, I know Cunningham was a big loss, but I know a lot of people were excited to see him coming in. But man, the defensive line. Let's just get this out of the way, and I'll get both of y'all's thoughts on this. Mm-hmm. Is this the best defensive line in the SWAC, possibly the FCS?
So G, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'll let you talk. I think so. I think it's the best in the SWAC. Hopefully I thought they had a chance to be the best in the SWAC last year, but I think they revamped. I think again they got some monsters because they even have a freshman. Southern has a freshman. I'll let J Max talk about it.
You can go ahead, G. You can go ahead.
They got a freshman that's been dominated.
From you talking about the one from North Louisiana?
Yeah, from North Louisiana. He's a freshman, so I'm like, man, they load on it. I gotta get me. They load on that D line.
And so a lot of people talk about the Jason Dumas coming over, right? And that's big. That's big. No lie, that is huge for us. That's a huge pickup. But I think the difference maker is going to be Trey Lane, because a lot of people forget last year we had Devin Cotton, he's no pushover either. So we still had the continuity at the defensive line. Cotton was maybe if we had to do like a Madden rating, and Jason Dumas 99, Cotton was damn near 97. You know, so yeah, but Trey Lane makes a difference on the end because I think he'll be able to get those one-on-one matchups. I really don't know who that D line with Cam Peterson and Willie. A lot of people look at Willie. We got a guy named Willie. He's like 5'7", 290, 5'5" maybe. And if you look at him, you're like, oh, they just run over him. But Willie, he comes out of Scotlandville High School. He's squatting like 700 pounds. Yeah, cleaning like 500 and all that type of stuff. He's solid. He's solid. He just made the starting rotation as well. He just moved up with Cam Peterson. So first, we're gonna have Cam, Willie, Trey, and I can't think of the guy's name right now. Number 8. Yeah, Dumas. And like I said, with Jordan being behind him. But we also have the guy number 8. G, you can help me with his name. He got the hard name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
I can't pronounce his name. But that defensive line is loaded. Like I said, you better pick your double teams and your matchups because somebody gonna make a play for sure.
That's what I said. I mean, the reason I think Dumas gets a lot of attention is one, not all transfers are made the same. Let's just be honest here. Dumas has proven it in this conference that he can do it, and he didn't have a lot of help. I think, James was the only other D lineman that has really done anything at PV, and he's going to be really good this year for PV. But when you combine Lang, when you combine, Great House? Is the other one?
I forgot about Great House. Yeah, JC. Yep.
And then on because he was what he was the JUCO player of the year last year on the defense. So I mean, good Lord, man. And you got the top 2 returning tackle for loss guys in the entire FCS for career tackles for loss in Dumas and Lewis. I don't know how anyone's going to block that, especially when you look at some of the offensive line issues across the SWAC where you're going to have to. Listen, running backs are going to have to be ready. Tight ends are going to have to be ready to help on the edge, or you're going to get destroyed because you're going to have to double Dumas.
You are, and that's the beauty of it. Like you just said, when I say the one-on-one matchups is, so who you going to chip? You going to chip Jordan or you going to chip Trey? Like which way we going? You know, and if you damn near got to run the I formation with two tight ends or something like that. You know, so it's going to be fun to watch. Man.
The spread. If you don't have a good O-line and you try to go out there and run that spread, I don't know.
I think the only chance you have to run at the defensive line. You're not gonna be able to sit back there and pat that ball. You're just not gonna be able to do it. You're not gonna be able to sit back there and pat that ball.
And the reason you have to run at our line is because of the linebackers. So you could try to take advantage of getting to that second level.
Yeah. Is Southern running a 4-3 or 3-4 this year?
4-2-5.
4-2-5. Okay, so it's exactly what Grambling switched to is running this year too. Is what I heard, at least, is that Grambling switched to a 4-2-5. Which I'm biased as a offensive lineman, looking at it from the other side of the ball. I think a 4-2-5 is better. Man, Craig, appreciate it. I meant to mention this again, man. We're late in the stream. This is simulcast on both my channel and the SWAC'N A Fool channel, man. Make sure to go like both streams, subscribe to either channel if you're not subscribed to the other one, man. Make sure to show love on both channels. Wanted to remind you guys if you weren't here earlier in the stream. Now, we have listen, we all know Craig here, man. He's all about Texas Southern. He put 2 questions. He wants to know Texas Southern versus Southern score and Texas Southern versus Alcorn score this year.
G, you got that. You go first, G.
Well, they come to us for homecoming. And I think it's going to be a trap game, but I got us 24-21, Alcorn. And Southern.
I thought that was my question.
Oh, all right. You got it. I thought you were going to do both. Go ahead, take that.
Yeah. And like we talked about earlier, a few seconds ago, when it comes to that D-line, I know they like to rely on Andrew Batty. And with our D-line, if you want to get past heavy, if you won't get past happy, if you won't, I think that plays into our strengths. So I'll say Southern University, of course. 35-21.
You guys got to get one back on them because last year
we on from last year. George saw my face. George was with me last year. Was that at y'all homecoming?
Yep.
George was with me last year, and I think it was kind of like we returned the favor of the story we was talking about the other day.
Yeah.
I had to go off. I was like, we lost, and I was at his homecoming, and I was just like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah,
we lost.
Craig said 35. He's confident about that defense. He said he's been telling me Texas Southern might have a defense. They said multiple people have said one of the DBs, they compared him to Cam Chancellor.
Okay, what about the other one?
I don't know about that. Listen, all I can speak on is what I was told. I live very far away from Texas. I'll put that out there. But
because we got some guys over there now.
Now, we've already picked apart Alcorn State schedule. We were doing that when you hopped on, man. We got to talk about this Southern schedule. Listen, we'll ignore the 2 D2 games for now unless G wants to make a comment on them. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, what are some trap games for you on this schedule that you see for Southern?
So I was telling George one day that I feel like we have the toughest SWAC schedule in the conference, right? Okay. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the end of the schedule, once we come from homecoming, what that is, Lynchburg after homecoming.
Yeah, Lynchburg High.
Yeah, we come and we got Jackson State, FAMU, Valley, and Grambling. That's a tough stretch that's a tough 4-game stretch in my opinion. You know, of course, with FAMU and Jackson State back to back, those two teams are 1 and 2 when it comes to the Eastern Division. You know, everybody's 50% saying FAMU, 50% saying Jackson State, and then you come and you play a Valley who, they don't have a fight. They're going to fight until their last breath, up and coming. They have something to prove. But I actually think the trap game for us is the Bayou Classic.
Ooh.
I think Grambling is the trap game for us because after you get through that gauntlet of those 3 teams, then you become lax. And with the whole festivities around Bayou Classic and it just everything that take place behind the scene, Grambling might have more of something by the end of the year, something to prove. Whereas, like I just said, we going through that three-week stretch, and that's back to back to back. That's actually 3 weeks. So yeah. I think definitely that Grambling game for sure. The PV game and the Alcorn game, or Alcorn, not really a trap to me because I don't think UAPB has too much. I don't think UAPB has too much 2 games prior, and I don't think PV will have too much. So I think that Alcorn game we would be kind of prepared for. It's probably, but all Alcorn and Southern games are thrillers. So I'm not saying that we're gonna blow them out. I'm not saying either way, but I just feel like trap game for sure. It'll probably be Grambling.
Man, you guys are hell in the comments. Jesus Christ. They're not letting you get off of saying Grambling's a trap game. They said your biggest rival cannot be a trap game. You should see that one coming. Now, I want to get y'all's opinion on Grambling.
Wait. Let me answer that, Blue. That, Blue.
Go ahead.
We thought we was about to run over them last year.
Yeah.
We got trapped last year thinking we were going to go out there and beat them 50-0. But, it is our rival, and that's what makes it a low-key trap game to me because you have all those kids coming in, and after going through that gauntlet, they might not be as prepared, as awakened as I would like them to see when it comes to Grambling, especially if Grambling's not having a good season. Last year, Grambling was having a horrible season, and once they won that game, we had the same record as them.
He said that's called arrogance. Now, I want to get y'all's opinion on Grambling real quick, and then we'll get back on topic because I've went back and forth. If you asked me about 2-3 months ago, I was like, "Ooh, that's a SWAC title contender." And now, from what I'm hearing, I'm kind of sitting back like, I don't know about this. Like, I feel like this team isn't going to be as good as people think. Where are y'all putting Grambling in the West right now?
Listen, I'll go first. I don't think they're a very good team.
Okay.
Especially offensively, I think they're lacking talent. I think they have really good. How can I say this? Might be a little controversial. They have our defensive coordinator.
Talk. Be honest, G. Let's be honest.
They
talk as if me and you talking behind the scenes.
And I'll just say, I think we upgraded that defensive coordinator.
Okay.
I just go like I think we upgraded defense coordinator by the switch. I think a lot of people are banking on that defense. I think they got a lot of Sonny Yada Anderson. They got a lot of talent, but it's just not yet. Now I do think they got a lot of young talent. I do think they will be a team to deal with in the future. But right now, I don't believe in the quarterbacks. Don't believe in them. I like a couple running backs. Don't believe in the offensive line, receiver. I just can't see it yet.
See, I got a question for you. Is that the same defensive coordinator that got 60 put on them in the celebration, bro?
That's the same defensive coordinator that's Mr. 64. That's Mr. So, after that 64 piece, I was kind of like, so.
Oof.
I'll just say that.
I think for me, it's kind of like I am with Alcorn. It's just the unknown for me.
Yeah.
They have a lot of question marks. But I think I honestly think they're going to have talent. It's the depth that I'm concerned with.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the depth that I'm concerned with. Now that I'm hearing one of the quarterbacks went to receiver, I just got a lot of questions. I got to see some film on them for sure. Hugh Jackson is an NFL coach. He has a tremendous, and we could say like he was losing in the NFL and on all his coaching staffs, but to make it as a head, to be able to be a head coach in the NFL says a lot. That's the top, that's the highest. So I feel like we'll see. I just got I got a lot of question marks. I'm on the fence. I feel like they can either be a win. They can have a winning program, or the way they could. But I will say in the future they loaded.
Yeah, I think. They got some young receivers, young running backs.
Oh,
that running back Lamborghini, he gonna be nice.
Now I heard Faison looks like the stud.
Yeah,
a wide receiver. I heard Faison looks like the truth, and I've heard the Maurice Washington kid from Nebraska looks like the truth. We know about Sunday out of Anderson, but man, from what I've heard, some of the transfers didn't really qualify. Had some stuff come up, aren't going to be there in the secondary.
Yeah,
even
the line, the kid Wallace. Mm-hmm. I think he was his best one. He was a stud. He went back to Duco. It's kind of like, so it's kind of
falling apart.
We'll see. On top of not knowing how good Hugh going to do. So we'll see.
Now, this is the question for both of y'all. What do you think Southern's record is in the last 4 games?
This tough. These are tough ones.
That FAMU game's in Bragg too. I want to remember everybody about that too.
Well, they go to Jackson and then go to Bragg.
Ooh. Yeah,
that's what I say. That's tough.
Ooh.
And we got Valley at 2:00.
Let's see. While y'all think all scripts got 2-2.
I got 2. I'm gonna say 2-2. That's tough.
3-1, 1-3 from Got Craig. Steve Campbell said 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. Oof.
Now I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be completely honest with you, Blue, and I don't want to be biased or anything, but we're going 4-0.
That's bias. That's
we're
bias.
going 4-0.
I don't want to be biased.
Now, Blue,
hang on.
We're going 4-0.
Hang on. I'm gonna give J Max a chance to respond. G said earlier, Alcorn's beating Jackson State 35-31 this year.
I said it live.
That's all I could do, Blue. I'm not surprised by that answer. I'm not surprised. Hey, Blue, we try to be as subjective or objective, whatever one it is, as possible. But it's hard because we see the good. When you're in a relationship with somebody, Blue, and a lot of people talk about them, but you see the good in that person.
We see the good in them.
We see the good. We see the potential. We see what they can be. And it's hard for me to turn away from it.
Now, I will say this, and Scotty made a good point here. I think regardless of the record, not regardless, you probably got to beat one of Valley and Grambling. If you can win a Jackson game in Jackson or that FAMU game in Bragg, that's a signature win.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to go 1-1 in those games. If you go 0-2 against Jackson and FAMU, I think the pressure is going to be, to your neck going against Valley at 2:00, like you said.
Definitely. And if you think about last year, we were in a close game with Jackson.
Yeah.
We lost. We barely lost to him, right? But that following week when we played Florida A&M, I think the energy was just down. Florida A&M came and ran the ball down our throat. But I think it was more of the guys just, they were mentally defeated after that last game, which was Jackson.
I think Southern matches up well with Jackson State.
I do too.
That D-line and with the question mark. That's the offensive line.
It's almost as if, and I was thinking that too, it's almost as if Dooley was recruiting to offset Jackson. Because I felt like he knew what their strengths were when it comes to the receivers. Because if you look at our DBs, we got a guy, I can't think of the name, I'm not good with names, but number 17, he's a 6'1" cornerback. That's our starting cornerback. But we know that Jackson also has the tall receivers. So I feel like it was kind of going, I think it was definitely strategic when it comes to recruiting for Dooley. especially since he saw them in the SWAC Championship.
You guys have a lot of names in the secondary. The kid from Troy is a stud. Corian Harris is an all-conference player from McNeese.
From McNeese.
You have a returning starter. Yeah, by way of Kansas. You have a returning starter at corner. You have a returning starter. Yeah, returning starter at safety. And then you bring both Bowie State transfers in.
Yep.
Who's starting?
He said, who's starting? The kid that I mentioned, like I said, I'm not good with names. The kid that I mentioned, he's a sophomore. He's coming back. He's starting. We got Josh Sharp from Mississippi State. We got the transfer from Tulane, number 18. I'm always at these practices. All I know is numbers. Number 18. The kid from Bowie State will be starting. And at the other corner, we got McCray.
Okay.
McCray, but we also got Corian, who's going to come in and give us minutes. Like I said, we run the 4-2-5, so we're gonna have 5 people back there, and we're gonna be interchangeable for sure.
Now, Oscar said if FAMU loses early, which is possible, they got UNC, they got Jackson State back to back, and they got a tough Alabama A&M game early. That could be a throwaway game if FAMU's not in contention because they don't have a lot of losses to give.
FAMU is a low-key Southern rivalry, though. So the same way we looked at Grambling, when they know that Southern's coming to Tallahassee, they could beat and lost every game on the schedule. But if they know Southern is coming to Tallahassee, they will definitely wake up for that game.
Now, the $1 million question. Go ahead, G.
No, I'm just saying we're gonna be at that game.
Yeah, we will be.
We definitely gonna.
I'll be there too. I'm gonna be in Bragg that game. That's the one FAMU game, and we'll all 3 be at that October 15th game, Alcorn Southern. Who takes that one?
I call it October 15th, the big payback. That's what I call it. That's what I'm calling it. The big payback.
That whole weekend, me and G have a rivalry thing going. His high school homecoming playing the area that I'm from as well.
Yeah.
That Friday. So Friday and Saturday, we not looking eye to eye at all.
At all. I'm going 2-0.
What you mean, G? What 2-0 mean?
I'm going 2-0. My high school and then Alcorn. 2-0.
Christian, I hope you're watching this so you can see that he just picked Glen Oaks on live.
C3 no.
But I'm gonna speak for the Southern game for sure. I just don't see. We got a lot. We got a lot, and I don't know what Alcorn has. It's and that's a big question mark. Now, Blue, if you bring us back on the show 3 weeks down the line, I could give you a little more on Alcorn. You bring me back 3 weeks down the line, I got you. But right now, I see what Southern has, and I think we going down there this weekend, Saturday.
Yeah, let's go.
And I see what Alcorn has, but I just see Southern definitely winning that game.
Okay, let's talk about expectations real quick. Alcorn, listen, they're voted high on the SWAC, but Southern, first-year head coach, new quarterback, first place. And I think it's based on at least the media space that we're in too, it's almost consensus. Everyone's kind of picking Southern in the division. How do you live up to that hype year one with Dooley, and how much pressure is it on you guys to win the SWAC this year?
If I'm Dooley, I wouldn't want to be Dooley right now. I don't know if he getting sleep at night because there's some high expectations coming in. Everybody kind of relying on it, especially with the Southern University fan base itself. They put the pressure on you and they let you know at every meeting, every conference that they see you in the street. This is what we want. This is what our expectations are. Bring us back to our glory days. But I think the beauty of it is Dooley was here for our glory days. So he knows the expectations. He knows the tradition. He knows what it's going to take. And he also, I feel like he has something to accomplish as well. A lot of people always bring up the 0-7, with him being 0-7 against those Mississippi schools. So I feel like he also knows what he wants as well. But to answer your question, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You got to keep those kids humble. The biggest thing is making sure, who's going to be the biggest coach, Blue, this season?
Who?
It's going to be our strength and conditioning coach. It's going to be the person to make sure that these guys stay healthy. If we stay healthy, I think we walk out the West easily. But if we, get nicks, injuries, bruises, bangs, and we're not as healthy as we can be or disciplined. But we had two scrimmages ago, we were very undisciplined. Last scrimmage looked like a whole different team. So Dooley definitely found out, okay, well, I know I need to fix this issue. So I'm excited. I think Southern has a chance to walk away in the West. I think he has the everything that it takes to get there, and I think he knows the expectations, and that's why he put so much pressure on himself.
And G, I'm gonna toss this one to you. Expectations at Alcorn. What is the, I guess, narrative around the fan base? What's the minimum number of wins McNair has to get to for the fans not to just go insane at the end of the season?
Celebration Bowl, bro. We done did everything else. We've done. So now it's like I tell you, the last time we won a SWAC championship, we didn't even celebrate. It was just and then we went and got 64 put on it. So it's like, nothing else matters now. I was talking to a dude from FAMU, he bragging. I'm like, bro, if I was in FAMU, I'd be sick. I would be sick. I would rather be sorry than be good and not win the Celebration Bowl. Me personally, I want to win the Celebration Bowl. That's the standard. That's just what it is. So Celebration Bowl or bust. I don't care. A Celebration Bowl, and I want to win some out of conference game. So those two. But anything else, we can go 9-1 and go to the playoffs. Bust. I don't care. We can be Southern, Jackson State. I don't care I don't care. Bust if we don't win the Celebration Bowl. Zero, nothing else. Celebration Bowl bust.
And G, I know you're tired of Grambling saying that.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Man, I'm sick of it.
Oh, bet. So Celebration Bowl or bust. And I mean, you kind of already beat me to my next question, G, because this one's for you, because we know Southern can't go. Bayou Classic is the first weekend of the playoffs. So regardless of what happens, they can't go. If Alcorn gets to the playoffs, what would the fan base's reaction be? And is there a matchup that you would want in the first round potentially that you think the fan base would get excited for?
I think they'll be excited regardless, just to have another game to go to. I don't really have a potential team. I'm so big on this Celebration Bowl. I'll be so disappointed. I'm saying I'll be disappointed now, but just be playing another game. I know me. I'm gonna be back hype, talking noise, saying we're gonna win by 40. So I'm saying this now, but I'll get up for a good playoff game. I love to see us play a Southeast, especially a regional team like Southeastern, a team like that, were not too far. I think it'll be fun.
Now, Tennessee State would be cool, Steve. That's a good one. If Tennessee State wins to OVC and you get an Alcorn State, Tennessee State first round game. Now, I want to see Tennessee State FAMU in the first round of the playoffs. If that happens,
that'd be dope.
All hell is going to break loose on that one. So now we start the fight between y'all. If Southern goes on and wins the Celebration Bowl, but Alcorn State gets in the playoffs and wins a game or two, who's the HBCU national champions? And now,
okay,
look, G, no. Because he wants that he wants the Celebration Bowl more than he wants the playoff victory.
This would probably be different if we see. I got a different attachment to the Celebration Bowl because we didn't win and lost 3 times. So I taste it. I gotta have it. I just have to have it. I gotta have that Celebration Bowl. I gotta have the Celebration Bowl. But I think if that was to happen, then we'll go who won head-to-head in the regular season. That might be the tiebreaker.
But Blue, I'm gonna be. I know G gonna find a way to say the playoffs have more weight than the Celebration Bowl. I know him, especially if they win. Who y'all wouldn't play? Y'all wouldn't play the rest. We wouldn't play the big time team. We'd be the big time team. That's G right there.
You might have a point. I'm probably gonna flip it.
Yeah, especially if South Carolina State doesn't get to the Celebration Bowl, if Central or Norfolk comes out of nowhere, or Delaware State, man, he's gonna be on y'all. Especially if they beat a Southeastern and upset someone in the second round.
He's
gonna say, man,
you know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's gonna say, y'all play Delaware State. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about that.
I say that now to Grambling. Y'all play NCCU. Now I can't talk too crazy about NCCU, but y'all didn't beat these good North Carolina A&T teams that was dominating HBCU football. Y'all beat North Carolina Central in a down year for North Carolina A&T. That's what I tell them, Grambling fans.
So now it's the time, man. I've been getting asked this question in the chat since me and G got on the stream an hour ago. Record predictions, man. We'll start here with Alcorn. We'll go back to the schedule. And before I get you, G, I'm gonna let J Max go first. Record prediction for Alcorn next year, man. I got the schedule up here for you if you need to like reminder about who they play. What's your expectations this year for Alcorn State?
Well, first off, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm hoping that first 3 games that they at least go 2-1. That'll be big for the SWAC. 2-1, 3-0, that'll be perfect. But 2-1 for sure, that'll be big for the SWAC. I'm gonna say, whew, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. How many games is that?
11.
11, and they losing the first 3.
Here you go.
They losing the Southern. That's 4 losses. Losing to Jackson. I don't even know against Bethune-Cookman because y'all had a hard time last year.
We ain't talking about last year, Jack. We're not talking about last year.
I got them with 5 losses.
So 6-5. 6-5 year for Alcorn State.
Yeah, 6-5.
Is that McNeese game at Alcorn, G?
No, is it McNeese?
Lake Charles, yeah.
Oh. And the SWAC's never beaten McNeese? Man, y'all better get that one.
We
If y'all
got
don't win if y'all don't win a damn game.
Because if we would have had a coach last year, Blue, if we had a coach last year, we win that McNeese game.
Yeah.
We win.
Y'all do.
We was in that game tit for tat. And yeah, anyway, that's the pass.
And your guy who's on the roster now is a big part of why y'all did it because Corian had a huge game that he was a player of the week for the conference that
he
week.
was.
Yeah.
He was. Yep.
So McNeese, listen, I don't care if y'all go 1-10, y'all better beat McNeese. I'm so like the fact that the SWAC's never beat McNeese is ridiculous. But G, your record prediction for Alcorn State. We know the wins against Jackson's already predicted and the win against Southern. What's the rest of them?
I got us 8-3. That's a humble 8-3. I got us 8-3. I feel like we're gonna slip up during the year somewhere. You know, I think the SWAC. I think the SWAC is too good. I don't think nobody's going undefeated. I think the SWAC is too good. If all things go right, I think we can go 8-3. If all things.
The losses to Tulane.
I had Tulane. Stephen F. Austin. And
Jackson or Southern. Which one you want to pick? Which one?
But he's already predicted 2 wins. He already picked 2 wins against them. You can't. So 8-3 losses to Stephen F. Austin, Tulane, and Bethune-Cookman. Now, hey, to be fair, upgraded quarterback Kamari Everett's back. They got who was it? Corey Reed from Jackson State.
Yeah.
At the wide receiver spot, they're gonna be pretty good. So let's see. We got 8-3. Common man. Shout out to him. 10-1 here.
I'm gonna be on top of my head.
If his last name Spinks, we ain't counting. we ain't counting.
6-5, 6-5. We got 4-7, 5-6, 7-4, 8-3, 5-6. I think, man, looking at the schedule, I would say, I think I would put it about, 7-4. I think if everything goes right, I think is about where I would put Alcorn State. I think 7-4. Right now, I got them beating Grambling. Man, it's going to be so tough to beat Stephen F. Austin week 1. It is, but I got them beating McNeese, though. I think McNeese year 1 under Gary Goff isn't going to be ready. They starting a new quarterback, man. They got a lot of new pieces, and I don't know where to put them. That Southern game is going to be brutal, man. I got y'all losing to Southern, G. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for that one.
You're a realist.
Yeah, and I don't see the. I'll just go 7-4. I'll leave it at that. I think that Jackson game might be that 4th loss.
See, I know we got a lot of new unseen pieces, so y'all not, you know what I'm saying? It's not crazy to think. You know, it's a lot of unknown. We got 18 JUCO transfers. Nobody watches JUCO. You know what I'm saying? People don't keep up with you like they keep up with the transfer portal. So, you know, I understand it. I get it.
Now, 7-4 is nice. I mean, that's not a bad season. I feel like.
Because I think I think a 7-4 team this year is for us because we lose like 5 seniors, impact seniors. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll be a 7-4 team like that for us to be pretty good. But I'm still because I'm just a.
Now, if this is true, I will say this: being realistic, if you guys go 0-3 to start the season, it could get ugly.
Yeah, it's gonna get tough.
Because with looking at the schedule, if you're 0-3, Valley's not a guaranteed win. Southern's not a guaranteed win. Texas Southern's probably not a guaranteed win. Jackson's not. It's going to be brutal.
But to their defense, you get UAPB and then you get an off week too. So that's UAPB, nice. So you know that's another scrimmage game, and then you can work on things that you need to work on in that off week, and then head to Valley.
I think that's good. And I mean, if you're 7-4, we're about to get to Southern. That means that Alcorn Southern game on the 15th could have been the deciding factor for that division.
Oh Lord, it's gonna be it's gonna be.
But now you get your get back, G. You get to go first on Southern schedule. Listen, we know they're at least 2-0. We'll just start. Well, I think that's the starting point here is 2-0 because of those 2 D2 teams. But outside of that, what's your record prediction for Southern?
One, 2. I got them. Surprised. I got them 8-3.
Okay. Losses to LSU, Alcorn.
LSU, Alcorn, and FAMU.
Ooh, with the Jackson win.
I got them with the Jackson. I'm not sold on Jackson yet.
Okay.
I like it. Won a conference, so I give them their respect. But I'm just not. I don't think they're world beaters.
That's fair. So go ahead, J Max, man. This is your team. What do you see Southern this year? And don't give me no 11-0 either, right?
Oh, I got you. I saved that for after.
You gotta give them that warning. You gotta give them that warning.
I'm gonna go 9-2 at best, 8-3 in the middle.
Okay.
Well, 9-2, 8-3. Yeah.
So I'm assuming the one loss is LSU. Where do you think they get caught? One of those last 4, probably.
It's definitely one of those last 4. That gauntlet right there to me. And if I had to go with the 8-3, I say that PV game because with that PV game, they have nothing to lose.
That's true.
They have nothing to lose, and they want to beat Jason Dumas and Dooley and Allen Clark and Dawson and all those coaches that left them hanging.
And, the predictions right now for preseason are Jackson State Southern winning the division. How big will Boombox be part 2 in the SWAC Championship game?
Well, anytime Southern goes to Jackson, that's when anytime Southern goes anywhere, that's when everyone breaks attendance records. So from your McNeese to your Alcorns to your Jacksons to your FAMUs, if you look at the records, every time they broke attendance records, it's always been the opponent, Southern University. We support. We go and we travel better than we stay home.
That's facts. But we had 62,000 in Alcorn and Jackson State last year broke the attendance. Well, now it wasn't break attendance record.
That was
Alcorn has the attendance record at Jackson State Stadium. If people don't know that, Alcorn has the attendance record at Jackson State Stadium. But we had 60,000 for Alcorn and J State last year. But my bad, I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what was your question? Because G just came in. He just had to. He just had to come in.
I was asking you if Southern and Jackson State get a rematch in the SWAC Championship, what does that get? What is that game going to be like?
Well, Blue, what Terrell Owens told you, Blue? Grab your popcorn. Grab your popcorn.
What T.O. got to do with this?
Man. Grab your popcorn. It's gonna be big.
Gotta leave T.O. out of it.
Yeah, grab your popcorn because leave T.O. out of it because Dion might want to be on the weight bench doing sit-ups or something. But yeah, it's gonna be a big game. Of course, it's gonna be on either the campus of Jackson. Well, the rented stadium of Jackson.
You said campus?
I meant to say rented. The rented stadium of Jackson. It's gonna be on Mumford.
It's gonna be at the state of Mississippi Stadium, our stadium.
So you can have. It'll definitely be big though.
You can have 2 rematches, really and truly, unless Alabama A&M or Alabama State come out of nowhere. Because you got FAMU and Jackson both on the schedule. That could be interesting. It's so hard to beat a team twice, man.
Yeah.
Do you think I know this is going to sound so weird because I don't think people who have not played football understand this. Does the loser of that first game have the advantage in the championship if it's a close game, like we saw with Alabama, Georgia this year?
Well, let me answer this one. Well, in recent history, that hasn't been the case. J Max knew I'm going this quiz on.
Oh boy.
In recent history, we was beating Southern 2 times a year. We will beat them 1 time in the regular season. They get all hyped up, then we turn around and beat them again. So I don't know.
For me, I always say the loser has the advantage because you can always fix your mistakes, whereas the winner says, we're going to do what's working for us.
That's true.
Now, when we was playing Alcorn with our previous coach, I feel like they was doing the same thing, and we did the same thing too, each time. So
no adjustments.
No adjustments. I'm like, okay, all he gonna do is read, pass, coach. What you're not seeing right now. But now we got a different coach, so hopefully it's different.
Yeah, hopefully.
I like 8-3, really and truly for Southern. I think LSU's the guaranteed loss. I think the Jackson State FAMU, I think they're probably going to lose one of those. And then it just seems like every year, man, there's like a trap game for a lot of these top teams. And like G said, it's going to be really and truly, I don't care what any fans say, it's going to be damn near impossible to go undefeated in SWAC play this year.
I think if a team goes undefeated, then the Celebration Bowl, they need to look out the Celebration Bowl because it's going to get ugly.
Blue, I gotta ask you something, Blue.
What's up?
So every the SWAC's excuse for losing in the Celebration Bowl is that those MEAC teams get a longer break period than us. What's your opinion on that?
I think it goes one of 2 ways, because you can say like, yes, they get a chance to rest up and game plan the extra week, but to be honest, they don't know who they're going to play till the same time the SWAC team does. So you can't say they're already game planning for that game. And also some coaches would argue, and some do at the Power 5 level, a longer layoff is a bad thing because your team gets too rested and they get too rusty and they're not in the grind as much. And so they think that extra game actually helps them. And that's been a big argument with some of the bowl game matchups and things like that, is like some teams have a longer layoff and that's just not fair. But to me, I don't think it plays as big of a role as some people think. And I think it's just when you look at the matchups, especially last year, they just came in there and hit them in the mouth. And I think the argument that South Carolina State took it as a business trip and the other team on the other side did not, I think it came down to it. And let's be honest, them North Carolina A&T teams are really damn good.
Yeah,
I really do think just the Celebration Bowl, what you've seen is that let's just be honest, the MEAC team was the better team most years. And that's no offense to any of the teams who were the losers of that game. It's just sometimes there's a team in these matchups that just have it. And once you win one, and I think you guys can both agree with me, once you get there and win one, it's a lot easier to go back and win again.
Yeah.
And so definitely. Once that run kind of started, I personally think that North Carolina A&T said, we're the better team. We've went here and won again. We know what we need to do, and we're just going we're just going to go play. And like everyone says, the MEAC prepares themselves for that game. And I don't think it has anything to do with the layoff. I think if the SWAC was winning, no one would mention the layoff.
Right.
True. Definitely.
How do y'all feel about it? Because I know G's probably got some opinions being on the other side of it. How did you feel about the layoff? Did you blame it? Be honest. Did you blame the loss on the layoff?
I never made an excuse. I just thought North Carolina team was just an amazing team. I know in 2018 I was praying for FAMU, and I don't never try to duck. And 18 I was praying. I was so mad when I was so hot in 2018. I was praying for FAMU in 2018, but North Carolina team was just a good. That's a good team. It was crazy because then FAMU was beating North Carolina team. It was crazy, but it was just crazy. But I just think there was better teams.
Well, North Carolina FAMU was the champs that year.
No, that was 2019. I think that was a champ.
Oh, that was the champ?
2019. I think was they were on probation.
2019.
Oh,
yeah, because I think they were on probation or something like that in 2019 and couldn't participate, so they kind of were default. Listen,
they did the Central Florida deal.
Exactly. It's a Florida thing. It's a Florida thing right now. And like Mr. Campbell said, because I've went back because I've been watching the Celebration Bowl even before I was covering it, because it's on ABC. Who doesn't watch it? And I went back and kind of watched some highlights of some of the A&T ones. I mean, would y'all say there was a realistic upset in any of the Celebration Bowls other than last year?
Upset? I don't think so.
The 60-point game that Alcorn that G was talking about, though, it wasn't an upset, but I really just felt like if they could get a stop, that's all I kept saying that whole game. Just get a stop.
No stop. Our offense
just get a stop.
It
wasn't an upset, no, but I definitely that's one of the ones where I felt like the SWAC and the MEAC were evenly matched. So anybody could have taken it that particular year for sure. Anybody could have taken it. I was surprised that it ended up being like 60-something for it.
I even think it was evenly matched in 18. We lost by 2 points, and then in 15 we got Tariq Cohen. We were literally have him in the backfield, bottled up, and he going for 80. I'm like, he literally beat us by himself, and it still went. They still won it at the end. So
Yeah, because someone said he put up 295 in that game.
Yeah.
That's insane. And I mean, like Champ put right here, that 2017 A&T team beat an FBS team, a top 10 FCS team, and all of us know how hard it is to go undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you've run into some buzzsaws. Now this year, I say this year, we don't know what some of the MEAC teams are. I think right now, if the SWAC doesn't get it this year, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. I say the same thing.
Because I mean, if y'all put let's take y'all's top 4 teams, the top 2 teams from each division in the SWAC, and put them in the MEAC. Do you guys think those are probably the 4 best teams in the MEAC potentially with South Carolina State?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think
it's
we
tough.
We absolutely have to get it this year. We just have to get it. We just have to get it.
In the MEAC SWAC Challenge this weekend, I want to get y'all's thoughts on that before we wrap this up, man. Who y'all got, Alabama State or Howard?
Once again, we have to get it again.
Look, a lot of people sleeping on Howard. I mentioned it in the last show. They got a guy last name Williams, their quarterback. He threw for like 2,300 yards, 16 touchdowns. Yeah, Quentin Williams. A lot of people sleeping on this kid running this spread offense. I'm interested to see if he could put up points fast while Alabama State's still trying to figure it out. That could be a difference maker in this whole ordeal. A lot of people look at Howard and they think, oh, that's just Howard. Howard. But this kid he's pretty good.
I agree with you.
Go ahead, G. What they do at quarterback. We're going to see what interesting. Because I'm hearing Demetrius Davis he's dynamic, but his arm is not, it's not. You're an Auburn guy. You might have got.
I know. Oh, I feel you.
Blue, what's so being an Auburn guy, what's the insight? Give us something.
It's hard because in Auburn he never even saw action in a real game, and a lot of what I know about him is from the insiders, from knowing the guys over at On 3, 247, and one of the concerns is he didn't pick up the playbook as fast as I think the Auburn coaching staff wanted. You guys know at the Power 5 level, even as a true freshman, if you ain't coming in and you're ready to be ready to play, you ain't going to see the field. And on top of that, man, you got to look at the quarterback room. Malik Willis had to transfer out there as an NFL player. 5-star Bo Nix just came into the fray. Joey Gatewood, a top 50 player in the country, a 4-star came in. They had another kid, the kid at Tennessee State now came in as a 3-star, had to transfer out there. It's just that quarterback room has so many bodies. And when you have a guy like Bo Nix, who was the first 5-star we landed at quarterback in a long time, and he's a legacy player, and his dad's really involved in the program, and he fits the offense just a little bit better with a new OC. I don't feel like D ever got a realistic shot. I think he was the most athletic, like you said, G. And from what I heard in practice, man, he could take it, but you can't hit the quarterback in practice. And so therefore, with his understanding of the playbook not being there, some questions about his arm, I just never felt like Gus Malzahn and that staff felt confident enough to really put it all in his hands. And I was talking to some Auburn fans last night because, I still do some work for On 3 Sports, and the message board over there on the Auburn side, man, they all want this kid to succeed, man. He was loved by the Auburn fans. That they, from the time he stepped on campus, thought he should take Bo Nix's job just because of everything going on. And a lot of people, like Justin said, Justin's an Auburn fan in the chat too. Politics was a big concern about why he transferred. And so if he goes out and balls against Alabama State, I know everyone in Auburn are going to be the biggest fans of D Davis. And personally, I picked Howard on my show that I did my preview because I, like you said, J-Max, I think the quarterback, Quentin Williams, coming back. You got your top 2 leading rushers combined with Eden James coming back, top 2 leading wide receivers, 2 all-conference offensive tackles, and Darian Brokenberg on the defensive end spot. Man, that's going to be really, really hard to overcome for a young team. But I'm going to be the biggest D Davis fan when I'm in Atlanta this weekend. I even hope I'm wrong with my prediction, because I hope he goes out there and throws for 300, because I'm just rooting for him, because I just never felt like he got a fair shot at Auburn.
So what is actually your prediction?
So I had Howard winning 24-20.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be surprised. Howard is a slept-on team. I wouldn't be surprised.
And I mean, their offense put up like 350 yards per game. The problem was their defense really struggled in crucial situations stopping. I went back and watched some film on them. I'm worried that I heard Earshad might be out for the game today, is what I heard. Bubba's out at the linebacker spot. And they got to replace Jaquez Payton at the corner spot. Man, they're just I don't know what that defense is going to look like. And the worst thing for a new starting quarterback is you get down 14-0 early. If Howard, and they have the offense to do it, runs the football, puts together, let's say, a 6-7 minute drive at 7-0, you go a quick 3 and out, they put another big drive together. It's 14-0 at second quarter. You look up, man, that offense is going to be in shambles trying to get it together.
Yep. Agreed. Blue, I got one more question before you go, Blue. I got one more question.
Go ahead, man.
So who you got coming out the East and who you got coming out the West?
I put it out there. I got Jackson State winning the East. I think, listen, I get it. Musa has the arm talent the upside that I don't think McKay had. But, man, I just got too many question marks on the other side of land. I'm really worried they're not going to have another edge guy emerge, and all you're going to have to do is just chip land and double land.
Gentle Johnson, nice. Gentle. He's nice.
Oh, yeah,
too,
but he's at the D tackle spot. He's at the D tackle spot. You got to get another edge rusher, man, because all they're going to do is shift that offensive line to Isaiah Land's side, and then there's nothing you can do. Because, listen, he put on some weight, but I'm telling you, if you put 2 300-pounders on him, there's not many people can do. And I don't think he has the domination that you see in a Jason Dumas to overcome that in Isaiah Land. So Gentle Hunt's a stud, but he's not really a pass rusher. I like him more in the run game. I just don't know if they have another guy that can get after the pass, the quarterback. So I think FAMU's a close second, because Alabama A&M's way too many question marks for me. I'm like you with Grambling. I got to see them play a game. And I got an Alabama A&M preview coming out next week. And let's just say, when I drop that episode, y'all are going to be shocked at some of the stuff I've heard. I heard it's not going to be good. And they're saying that there's an injury I can't disclose. I think it's going to come out in the episode where they're worried about 0-4 to start the season for them.
And with all them transfers like that, you start off 0-4 and they go downhill quick. It go downhill quick.
But
they start looking for other schools.
And,
they got the
for here and they start giving up.
Yeah, I mean, but they got the toughest 4-game stretch to start the season. You got to go play UAB, not really on the road. I mean, they'll have a big turnout in Birmingham. But then you got to go play Troy, and neither of those teams are going to be easy. Troy just landed the all-time leading passer in like West Virginia history the other day, and so he's going to be a stud, like a 7th-year guy. Then you got to go play Austin Peay. Not going to be easy, possibly without a major contributor, and we'll see. That one was a toss-up. But then you got to go to Bragg and play FAMU when you're 1-2 in a must-win situation, with FAM, possibly also needing a win, being 1-2. It's not going to look good. Alabama State's got question marks. Valley is a sleeper. Listen, they're a sleeper in the sense of they can finish like 3rd, but I don't think Valley has a team to go out there and win the conference, win the division. Just in my opinion, they lack that upside. Bethune though is a real sleeper for me, because if they can get the quarterback spot figured out and that defense can come along, they can make some waves. I just don't know if they have the team to win the conference, the division either. So I'm going with Jackson. The other side, I got Southern coming out. I think I've been vocal. As an FCS guy looking across in terms of depth, and just overall established production, I don't think there's a defensive line that rivals Southern in terms of especially upside with Dumas and Lewis, and then also you got Lane coming in and Greathouse, who was the JUCO Player of the Year. I like Southern, and then second, man, I think it's going to be a toss up between Alcorn and Texas Southern. It's whoever's going to win that game. I think is probably going to establish themselves as the 2 and 3. Like I told y'all earlier, man, Grambling is just too big of a question mark.
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of them. And they got a tough game, Arkansas State early. And I'm just telling you, Northwestern State's going through some changes. If they lose to Northwestern State, I'm off the bandwagon. Throw it all the way, set it on fire. You're going to need to build a new one because if you lose to Northwestern State, it's a wrap. But they have a tough one because if they don't compete well with Jackson early, and they're sitting at 1 and 2 with a first-year head coach with a bunch of question marks, we don't know what they are. Then, UAPB and PV. I mean, are y'all excited about them personally this year?
No.
I just think when I look at Southern secondary and D line, I think they kind of separate themselves now. If Bashawn McCray is not who you said he was, that could be a problem, especially in the Dooley offense.
Yeah, but we got somebody right behind him that could pick it up. I promise you, Blood's nice.
So what happened to Bowden from Grambling?
He's there. He's young. Okay. And just me being out there at practice, he has a great arm, but he adds his receivers a lot right now. I think once he start reading like 1, 2, 3, and going through his progression and his options, he'll be phenomenal. But right now he has a habit of just eyeing down his receivers. But once he fixes that, he has a hell of an arm though.
Oh yeah, I think you saw that last year for Grambling. But man, guys, almost 2 hours on the show, man. I know this is the first time we did a simulcast stream. We're gonna have to do one on the 15th before that 15th game for sure. And I know I'll get with you guys each to preview some of the games this year, man. But I know that it's a simulcast stream, man. But just for everyone watching on either channel, man, let people know what y'all have coming down, the pipeline with kickoff coming next week, and where they can find each of y'all on social media and everything like that.
You go, G, first.
SWAC'N A Fool on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, GA on Twitter. And we got some more live shows. About to get our call-in shows kicked off.
Let's
I talk a lot of noise, so it's gonna be fun. So we finally gonna have where y'all call in and talk the noise back to us. So we about to get our call-in shows rocking. We're gonna still do our sit-down shows when we're together. We're gonna try to amp it up a little bit, get the people more content.
Definitely. And like he said, SWAC'N A Fool, that's SWAC A Fool. We have G has his segment coming out called I Got Something to Say. We got our other correspondent, Al, he has his segment coming out, and we going back to the what's the locker room segment called, G? Starting with Grambling coming up first. Players Lounge, starting with Grambling, and that's coming up as well. And of course, the previews. We'll be hitting y'all with the previews and all that as well. And like he said, GA, and I'm JMax1 on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Man, guys, make sure to go subscribe to the channel, follow them on social media. And we got some big things coming in the works. I know me and G gonna link up when I get to Lorman next weekend, man, for that big Stephen F. Austin Alcorn State game. And I know all of us are going to be October 15th. Alcorn State Southern and Baton Rouge. I promise you're not going to want to miss all the content. And if you can make it to that game, better get to Baton Rouge because that one's going to be one you're not going to want to miss, man. But
I think all scripts supposed to be there too, right?
I think so. And I know all 4 of us are supposed to be at Southern FAMU too, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So that's going to be a big one. Definitely. Hey, man, I'm excited. But guys, for SWAC'N A Fool, for myself, for the Bluebloods, man, we are out for right now.